On this day, we recognize and celebrate the immense contribution of MSMEs all over the world, around the world, to the global economy, to employment, and to environment sustainability. On this day, we pay our tribute to the dedication and the hard work by MSMEs as they toil incessantly all 365 days of the year. This celebration may be for a day, but it is to really pay tribute to the incessant toil around the year which MSMEs do perform in the country and all around the world. MSMEs have scripted the development path of developed economies. That's what the economic history shows. And MSMEs today are charting out the development trajectory of emerging economies and developing countries today. In the context of India, MSMEs have a critical role to play in achieving the national vision of Viksit Bharat as espoused by the Honorable Prime Minister. MSMEs are crucial to all the 6 pillars of our socio-economic endeavor at the national level: economy, employment, export, empowerment, equity, and energy transition. Even as we, as a community, as an MSME ecosystem, as a country, even as we steadily progress and move towards integrating with the global value chain. On our part, Government of India has been following a whole of government approach in addressing the key health needs and requirements of MSMEs, be it in the areas of financing, be it in the area of technology support, in training support, in granting market access. The underlying approach has been to strengthen the ecosystem in active collaboration with the state governments, duty administrations, and the industry stakeholders, many of whom are represented here. The Government of India has been focusing on end-to-end handholding of MSMEs and on promoting ease of doing business, as would be evident in various schemes and programs, not only of this ministry, but across all ministries in the Government of India. And in keeping with the tune of cooperative federalism, all these activities in the development sector are happening in active collaboration with the grassroots institutions, with the civil society, with the industry associations, and most importantly, with the state governments and their institutions. It is this kind of a collaborative endeavor which gives us the confidence to really say that we would and we shall move steadily towards achieving our goal of Viksit Bharat at 2047. I once again warmly welcome you and wish you a great year ahead for the entire MSME community. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed, sir, for the warm welcome and for kindly sharing the challenges faced by the sector and the strategies for its advancement. And now I have the privilege in inviting Dr. Rajneesh, ASNDC MSME, to kindly share his presentation on the challenges faced by MSME's policy interventions and the path forward. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Honorable Union Minister MSME, Shri Jitin Ram Manjhi ji, Honorable MOS MSME and Ministry of Labour and Employment, Shri Shobha Ardanguli ji, Honorable Justice Hemant Gupta, Mr. Kwame, Country Director, World Bank, Secretary MSME, Shri S.C.M. Das, Shri Rajiv Mani, Secretary Ministry of Law and Justice, and captains from the MSME sector, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, a very hearty welcome on the MSME Day from the Ministry of MSME, from all of us here. So we thank you all for joining us on this important occasion. As far as the MSME sector is concerned, we know that we are celebrating the MSME Day, and the theme of the United Nations MSME Day is resilience and sustainable development. The role of MSMEs in resilience and sustainable development is something which is being celebrated today, and this goes perfectly with the vision of the Ministry of MSME. We all know that MSMEs contribute about 29% to the Indian GDP, 36% to the manufacturing, and 44% to the products that we export. MSME sector is also the second largest employer after agriculture. We have on our Udyam registration portal more than 4.6 crore MSMEs who are registered, and the employment figure is 20 crores. So we are celebrating the International MSME Day, and the topic is resilience and sustainability. So we believe in Ministry of MSME that if we constitute 30% of the Indian GDP, then we are an integral part of the Indian economy. And as can be seen from the graph here, during COVID in 2020, the Indian economy took a hit, but the resilience of the Indian economy lies in the fact that in a period of 2 years, the economy was up and it rebounded. It rebounded with a growth of about 7%, and the latest estimate is a growth of over 8%. If we compare it with the internationally advanced countries, so we find that some economies like US, they grow at a rate of about 2%, European economies between 1 to 2%, whereas Indian economy has posted a considerably high growth rate of more than around 6% in the last 10 years also. MSMEs also contribute a substantial portion to the national GST. In fact, the contribution of the Indian MSMEs is about 5 lakh crores annually to the GST collection, which again accounts for around 30% of the total GST collection. The vision of Ministry of MSME is sustainable development of globally competitive MSMEs, and we see MSMEs as engine of growth of the Indian economy. The vision of the ministry is aligned with the challenges that the MSMEs face, and the important challenges before the MSMEs are formalization, access to credit, access to finance, access to market, access to technology, digitization, and the infrastructural bottlenecks. So we have various organizations in the Ministry of MSME, including the Office of Development Commissioner, KVIC, NSIC, Choir Board, NIMSME, MGIRI, and there are more than 20 schemes that we implement. These are all national flagship schemes. I will not get into the details of these schemes, but let me tell you that these schemes are basically designed also in tune with the challenges we face, because we believe that every challenge presents an opportunity, and if we are able to address them, then we will really be unlocking the growth potential of the Indian economy. So we have schemes designed around providing credit, technology, infrastructural support, employment generation, enhancing entrepreneurship and marketing. So when we speak about formalization gap, I'm happy to share with you that in last 1 year, there are 1.1 crore new Udyam registrations that have taken place. What it means is that 1.1 crore new MSMEs have been onboarded onto our system, and 1.73 crore new informal micro enterprises, they have been incorporated onto the formal ambit of the ministry. So taking the total numbers from 1.65 crores in the last year to more than 4.5 crores now. And we plan that in time very shortly, we'll be able to also include 64 lakhs such MSMEs who are paying income tax but are not registered as MSMEs with the ministry. We are in touch with the CBDT, and similarly for the self-help groups also, there is we are making efforts to include them within the ambit of the MSMEs. The idea being, if they come as a part of the formal system, then we will not only be able to benefit them, but they in turn would be able to contribute to the aspiration of the Indian economy to become a Viksit Bharat. Upgradation of MSMEs is the constant endeavor of the ministry. In the last 3 years, we have 2.3 lakh micro units, micro enterprises who have upgraded to small. Similarly, we have around 30,000 enterprises which have upgraded from small to medium, and there are more than 3,600 units that have upgraded to the larger ecosystem. Now, bridging the credit gap is again one of the endeavors of the ministry. You'll be happy to note in the last 22 years, between 2000 and 2022, the credit guarantees given by CGTMSE was about 2.65 lakh crores. Whereas in the last 2 years, compared to the previous 22 years, we have given around 4 lakh crore of these guarantees. So last 2 years you can see the growth of the Indian economy. That is the real potential of MSMEs that we really want to tap on, and our objective is in next 2 years we should be in a position to provide additional credit guarantee coverage to 5 lakh crore, guarantee coverage worth of rupees 5 lakh crore to the MSMEs. We also believe that credit or debt financing is not the only way of funding the MSMEs. We also promote equity infusion into the MSMEs. And we have a scheme called Self-Reliant India Fund, from which there is an investment of 8,600 crores that have been made into the MSMEs, and we plan to increase it further in the next 2 years, take it to 40,000 crores. Access to market is another important area where we work, and we in the government procurements provide assured scope for procurements and business to the MSMEs in the form of 25% mandatory procurements that are to be done by the CPSEs. I am happy to share in the last few years we have crossed this mandate. We have gone beyond 25%. MSMEs have actually contributed around 33% to the total procurements of the public sector enterprises, amounting to more than 80,000 crores. Technology is yet another area which is one of our prime objectives, and we have a network of technology centers that we started establishing since 1960s. Presently, there are 53 technology centers that we have. We have 27 technology centers that we have, which we plan to increase to more than 50, and similarly 100 centers, extension centers into our network. I'm happy to share with you in the last year's successful Chandrayaan mission, 54,000 components of the Chandrayaan mission were designed and manufactured by the Technology Center of Bhubaneswar and IDMI Mumbai. And recently there has been a humanoid which has been developed, which was also presented to the Honorable Prime Minister. We also actively engage with the state governments to really reach out to the MSMEs in order to unlock their latent potential. So there are this is a RAMP scheme from which around 6,000 crore of outlay we provide to various state governments. We have already funded 25 states and we have given them 2,500 crores. This is a World Bank aided project, and this project excellency is into taking into account the aspirations of the states while developing the MSMEs that exist there. PM Vishwakarma is yet another scheme that we launched last year. Till last year, our mandate was to handhold and assist the established micro, small and medium enterprises. With PM Vishwakarma, which was launched under the guidance of Honorable Prime Minister, the ambit has been increased, and now we handhold and support a variety of artisans and craftspeople, basically who are entrepreneurs, and we handhold them to make a transition to establish their own enterprises. Our target was 30 lakh such artisans to be enrolled. In 5 years, we have done enrollment of 2.2 crores only in a span of 9 months. Then there are some recent initiatives that we have taken in order to procure in order to ensure that women have a greater role to play in the development of the MSME sector. The public procurement policy of MSCs, it provides a provision of mandatory procurement of up to 3% by the women MSMEs. Similarly, there are provisions in CGTMSE, PMEGP, and MSME champion scheme where we have special provisions for the women entrepreneurs. New initiatives that we have to talk about. Then interest subvention for the MSMEs is something we are really working on in order to bring down the cost of credit to the MSMEs. And we also want to bring about the first amendment to the MSME Act. This Act was passed in 2006. We are in the process of amending that Act in order to make the provisions of the Act more conducive to the requirements of the MSMEs. And we are very thankful to be partnering with the Ministry of Law and also with the National Law University, WIDI, and various other stakeholders in order to better design the amendments that we want to incorporate. Similarly, we want to establish a network of Vidya Seva Kendras which can act as node of the ministry and in actually reaching out the schemes to the MSMEs. We also want to establish an MSME chair at the National Law University. The talks are at a very advanced stage, And then we also want rejuvenation and repositioning of khadi and choir, so that the khadi and choir can be promoted not only domestically but also internationally. Friends, today we are celebrating the MSME Day, and the Honorable Minister would be launching 2 new schemes. So just a brief overview. One scheme that we will request the Honorable Minister sir to launch is Trade Enablement and Marketing Scheme. It has an outlay of about 277 crores, and this scheme basically aims at improving access to e-commerce for the MSMEs. The other initiative that we want the Honorable Minister to launch is the Yashaswini campaign. This is a campaign which is specifically dedicated to women. It aims at empowering them and empowering the women MSMEs. We will have increased campaigns in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. Skilling and capacity building as another element of the campaign that we want to launch. And in 1 year, we want to handhold and support 1 lakh women entrepreneurs. So with this, friends, wish you a very, very happy International MSME Day.
Thank you very much indeed, sir. And ladies and gentlemen, we now have the privilege of hearing from Dr. Rajiv Mani, Secretary of the Legislative Department, Ministry of Law and Justice. Sir has been instrumental in advancing legislative reforms aimed at enhancing the ease of doing business environment. Let's put our hands together to welcome Dr. Rajiv Mani, sir, for his kind address.
Namaste to respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. Honorable Minister of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Shri Jitan Ram Majiji. Honorable Minister of State, Independent Law Minister is likely to join us shortly, Shri Arjun Ram Meghwal ji. Honorable Union Minister of State MSME, Shri Shobha Karandjale ji. Honorable Justice Hemant Gupta, former Judge, Supreme Court of India and presently Chairperson, India International Arbitration Center. Shri August Teno Kome, Country Director, World Bank. Shri SCL Das, Secretary, Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. Dr. Rajneesh, Additional Secretary and Development Commissioner, MSME. Guests from different ministries. Representatives from MSME sector. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, it is a proud privilege for me to be amongst you on this MSME Day, which is being celebrated at the behest of the MSME Ministry. And I really privileged to have this opportunity to highlight the perspective of the various steps which have been taken in reforming the legal framework for dispute resolution pertaining to MSMEs. The reforms are not merely administrative adjustments, but are transformative, aimed at empowering entrepreneurs, fostering innovation, enhancing competitiveness, and bringing ease to entrepreneurs in the MSME sector. The micro, small and medium enterprises is the backbone of our economy. These enterprises are not just economic entities, they are the engines of growth, innovation, and employment generation. It is our responsibility that the legal framework supporting these enterprises is robust, adaptive, and conducive in their flourishing. The progressive reforms induced by the government for the MSME sector has supported smaller businesses to recover from the impact of COVID-19 and grow further. Under Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan and the vision of Viksit Bharat 2047 of our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, the Government of India has implemented various schemes to strengthen the MSME sector, such as the PM Vishwakarma scheme to improve the quality as well as the reach of products and services of the artisans and the craftsmen, the credit guarantee for micro, small and enterprises to facilitate credit access to MSMEs in the country. SRI fund aimed to provide growth capital to deserving and eligible units of MSME sector. The micro small enterprises cluster development program to enhance the productivity and competitiveness of the micro small enterprises by extending financial assistance for establishment of a common facility center and creation and upgradation of industrial estates and scheme for fund of regeneration of traditional industries and many more. All these investment incentives and initiatives to ease business compliances and remove policy uncertainties have created an ecosystem for startups to mature. The number of recognized startups, which has increased from 452 in 2016 to more than 98,000 till last year. The Government of India has been taking several steps to promote India's ranking in the Ease of Doing Business Index, and particularly in the area of enforcement of contract. As per the Government of India allocation of business rules, the Department of Legal Affairs of the Ministry of Law and Justice, Government of India has been allotted inter alia with the administration of the Arbitration and Conciliation Act 1996, the Commercial Courts Act 2015, the India International Arbitration Center Act 2019, followed by the enactment of the Mediation Act 2023 last year. As per the Ease of Doing Business initiative, an array of legislative and public policy reforms have been made to strengthen the enforcing contract regime in the country. For speedy resolution of commercial disputes, the Commercial Courts Act 2015 was passed and again amended in 2018. This has led to the establishment of dedicated commercial courts in various parts of the country. And for the first time in Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata and Bangalore, we have dedicated infrastructure and exclusive judicial human resource for catering to the needs of the commercial disputes. The specified value of the commercial disputes, which was earlier rupees 1 crore, was also brought down to rupees 3 lakhs in 2018, so that more and more cases of commercial nature could be adjudicated in these dedicated commercial courts. We have presently 35 commercial courts in Delhi, 6 commercial courts in Mumbai and nearly 10 commercial courts in Bangalore, which are functional. This has led to focused attention to commercial disputes and their speedy disposal. It has benefited the MSME sector in addressing their commercial disputes in a more viable manner. And just for the sake of records, the Ease of Doing Business Index of the World Bank, in which, of course, it is not coming for the past 2 years, but overall rank of India in 2015 was 142, which till 2022 has come down to 63. So we have made a great leap in that. Of course, in the area of enforcing contracts, our rank was 186 in the year 2015, and we are now at rank 163. And I think there is still a lot of scope for us to do and improve our rank in the area of enforcement of contract much further. The enactment of the India International Arbitration Center Act, which has led to the establishment of the India International Arbitration Center, is a great impetus to the growth of institutional arbitration in the country. The purpose of this enactment was to create an independent and autonomous regime for alternative dispute resolution mechanisms. The dispute resolution process, which has a huge impact on the Indian economy and the global perception of doing business in India. However, one of the issues which has come in an obstacle in the growth of MSME sector was the increased rate and high cost of litigation in disputes pertaining to the sector. The MSME involves people from various places having different linguistic identities. Considering the necessity of promoting quicker and effective dispute resolution mechanisms for micro, small and medium enterprises, Section 62 of the Mediation Act has amended Section 18 of the Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Development Act of 2006. Schedule 7 of the Mediation Act 2023 amends the amendment under the Section 18 of the MSME Act 2006 and has cleared the ambiguity of taking recourse to conciliation or mediation in case of disputes. The pre-amended Section 18 provided for conciliation as a reference to be made by the MSME Facilitation Council in case of a dispute. However, post-amendment, on receipt of a reference under subsection 1 of Section 18 of the MSME Act 2006, the Facilitation Council shall either conduct mediation itself or refer the matter to a mediation service provider as provided under the Mediation Act 2023. Section 18(3) specifies that the mediation shall be concluded as per the provisions of the Mediation Act. So a time-bound resolution of settlement of dispute through the Mediation Act has been provided for. In case the mediation terminates without any settlement, then the council can either by itself or an application refer the matter to arbitration. So already the MSME Act has a very robust model of what we call as the mediation arbitration model for settlement and resolution of disputes. Recently, in the same respect, the MSME Development Act has more advanced features in comparison to the Arbitration Act, as Section 19 of the said Act provides that a party which is challenging the decree, award or any other order made by the council or any other institution to submit 75% of the award as a security deposit for filing an application. The same is not specifically provided under a challenge which is made under Section 34 of the Arbitration and Conciliation Act when an award is challenged. In addition, for faster resolution of disputes and tailoring the MSME sector, a requirement for addressing gaps in the arbitration mechanism, on 7 June 2024, the India International Arbitration Center (IIAC) has introduced the India International Arbitration Center Conduct of Micro Small Enterprises Arbitration Regulations 2024 in consultation with the central government. These regulations have been specially drafted for the requirements of the micro and small enterprises. The newly implemented regulations aim to streamline arbitration within this pivotal economic sector. The regulations underscore the importance of swift and efficient dispute resolution process. We have, of course, amongst us the Honorable Chairperson of the IAC, who would, I am sure, go in great detail about the benefits of these regulations for all the representatives of the MSME sector who are present here. Another highlight of the initiatives of IAC is the use of Digital India Bhashini division to have the translation of the pleadings and the arguments in local languages which are spoken over the length and breadth of the country. This, of course, is a great technological innovation which I think would greatly benefit the MSME enterprises from various parts of the country. Through these regulations, efforts have been made to leverage the technology to enhance transparency, efficiency, and accessibility to the legal framework. This not only reduces costs associated with the travel and logistics, but also makes the arbitration process more convenient and accessible regardless of your geographical location. A dedicated panel of arbitrators with expertise in micro small enterprise disputes have been framed, and ensuring that the cases are handled with sensitivity and efficiency. In conclusion, the reforms which are undertaken in consultation with the MSME ministry by our department are more not only mere procedural but a testament to our commitment to creating an enabling environment for MSMEs to thrive. By fostering an effective dispute resolution mechanism, we are not only safeguarding the rights and interests of the entrepreneurs, but also catalyzing economic growth, job creation, and sustainable development. The advancement and strengthening of the MSME enterprises is of paramount importance in achieving the goal of Viksit Bharat 2047. Therefore, I urge upon all the stakeholders of the MSME sector to provide their inputs on these issues so that the policymakers are pre-informed to ensure the effective redressal of the gaps in the MSME sector. I am thankful to the Ministry of MSME and its learned secretary and its team of officers to have invited me and organized this wonderful conference on the occasion of the MSME Day, and I'm sure that the outcome of the conference will provide the necessary impetus to overcome the challenges before the MSME sector, and particularly in the area of dispute resolution. The IAC, under the leadership of Honorable Justice Hemant Gupta ji, is well equipped to contribute in this area, and I'm sure will be greatly welcomed by the MSME sector also. So let us continue to collaborate, innovate, and advocate for reforms and empowering the MSMEs and drive our nation towards prosperity. Thank you and Jai Hind.